There it is. What's up, everybody? It's another Tuesday night. Welcome back. We're your Tuesday night delight here on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Welcome to another brand new episode of Breaking the Mold, episode 145. Getting up there. I'm Harrican BX. Let's say what's up to the rest of the crew. Brian Brink, how are you tonight?
Hey, good. Sorry,
What you got there in your hands? You look like you're transforming something.
X-Transbot Scourge.
Oh, nice.
I can't.
I don't know why you bought that piece of shit, man. Hasbro's is awesome.
Didn't you get Studio Series 86?
Do you just jam this in? It's pretty stiff, but I can't figure out.
Just a waste of money there, Brian.
Hey, shut your face. This fucking completes my collection.
You got that?
KO's gonna give you cancer.
You got that when Studio Series 86 is out?
Studio Series 86. Hey, look, mine has fingers. Look at that. With fucking nail polish on them. Look, fucking nail polish fingers. Does your fucking Studio Series have that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, I think so.
You can also transform it in 10 minutes instead of fucking an hour.
I can give you the finger. I can give you the middle finger with this guy. I can give.
Yeah, I don't think mine could do that.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't think so.
Is Brian showing off a Scourge? Is that what he got?
I'm trying to figure out how to transform.
It's not even the Studio Series Scourge, Gary. It's like
It's a KO.
third-party Scourge.
Oh, his
X-Transbot.
Andrus, right? Yeah, that's a good figure. Are the fingers loose, Brian, or did they kind of fix some of that?
Well, the thumb popped off when I pulled it out of the box.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they fixed it.
But it's got so many panels. I'm trying to figure out
It looks metallic. Is that the
Why
metallic?
would you fix a turd?
dude? It is metallic.
Did you get the feet?
No, the feet still look like this. I haven't gotten there. I'm getting to the backpack first. I need a picture.
398 Robots was the YouTube video for the designer that showed how to do the feet on the originals.
Listen.
And they were the only ones that could do it. No, I'm serious. That's what you had to.
We don't get money from him. Stop plugging him.
No, but I'm just saying.
That was a criticism of like when that thing was originally released, right? Something about the feet were screwy to transform or something.
Yeah, the feet are like really bad. That's
Yeah,
what I
Yeah,
remember.
but they say this new version has better feet.
Better.
Oh, it does. It's
I
got
heard.
better feet.
They fixed the transformation, so I've heard, but I haven't gotten there yet. I'm trying to figure out this
Yeah,
backpack.
you had to really flex the spacing on the feet to get the toes to fold through. But
All right. Well, Brian
That's
doesn't.
what I'm doing.
He doesn't use instructions when he transforms his stuff.
Yeah.
He always just figures it out. So
Yeah.
you'll get it. You'll get that before the end of the show tonight.
End of the show.
He's gonna take a vacation off of work tomorrow to transform that thing.
Other than that, dude, how are you doing, man? How was your week? Everything good?
Yeah, week is good. Did we meet last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
It was our birthday show.
Right.
2 years.
So
Ring a
check
bell?
this out. We did the giveaways, right?
Yes.
So I sent something to Maya, because Maya won something, and also I sent something unrelated to the show to another Realm member, James, and James is in Michigan. Maya is in Virginia somewhere, and maybe West Virginia. I can't remember. And I sent the packages out on the same day, and they both went to Miami.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. They must have went on the wrong tote.
That's crazy.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's wild. They have to go over there because that's the distribution center to send it to where it was supposed to go.
Maybe, but they've since both left Miami, so that's good.
I think everyone just likes to send their stuff down to me first lately, and then I get to check it out. Then I rebox it and send it back to where it's supposed to go.
Oh. Gary's got the game going with the post office.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I haven't had any issues sending stuff out lately, so it's been pretty good.
That's good stuff. Do you usually package up at home, or you just do it all from the post office? Gary.
Oh, I do everything at home.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
it makes it so much easier when you could just drop it off and not really.
Yeah, and I've got two post offices, like one by the gym, one on the way to work. That both have the self-serve kiosk, so that pretty much works wonders if you have to do it. But
Yeah, it's a
Look
big
at
thing.
you.
Just got to get yourself that scale, man. Get yourself a scale, and that's it. That's it. Or approximate,
That's me. I approximate.
Do you ever get anything sent back? Like, yeah, dude, you're just playing
Never,
yourself with this
never,
postage.
Oh wow, really?
Imagine.
eBay charges you. So like if you print out a shipping label with eBay and you guesstimate where you guesstimate too low, they basically will back charge you for the difference.
Okay.
So,
Well, all right. I'd rather that shit.
yeah, I had that happen a couple years ago. Once on an eBay purchase, that the seller didn't charge enough. They delivered it to the post office locally when I was in Delaware.
You get stuck.
It's gone.
it's fine.
Bro.
It's so slow in Miami.
He's gone. All right. He'll slide back up in here.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right.
I don't know what
Oh,
happened.
There he is.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
What were you saying?
Oh no! So they didn't charge enough. The post office delivered it to to the local branch in Delaware, and then they wanted me to pay the difference to actually get the package, right, for them to release it to me. And it was going to be like $20-some. I was like, absolutely not. So I just went back to the seller. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Had them refund me.
Interesting. They wanted you to make up the difference there. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, and it was like an item. I think it was like that stupid. It was one of those Playmates Voltron lines back in. It just happened to be like kind of cheap, which is why I bought it versus like just getting it at retail.
Yeah.
But
Well, how you doing, man? How's everything going?
it's good. Yeah, everything's good. It's always a busy week, Monday and Tuesday. And if I look distracted, I'm watching these two kittens like try and climb underneath the TV
you?
stand here. Yeah,
They're still trying to get at your stuff.
exactly. It's
You
like-
haven't housebroken them yet? You got to like chill out.
yeah, no, they're playing with each other, so far they're okay. Yeah, but no, everything's good. Everything's cool.
All right. Hopefully, nothing too expensive is in dire danger.
No, nothing's low. Nothing's low in these two bookcases, that's for sure. Figure that out.
All right. JD, what's up, dude?
What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Leander.
Yeah. How we doing out there, Chatland?
Oh, they wild.
Yeah.
They're wild in there. They're wild in there.
Yeah. Yeah, had a pretty good weekend. Got out of work on Saturday. My mom was here, so we hung out with her. And then Sunday, my dad came over, him and his girlfriend, and did our Christmas thing because I didn't get to see him on Christmas.
Oh, nice.
And then our friends Jenny and Joe came over, and we, Chan made a pot roast stew sort of deal, and then Joe, he's been playing with sourdough.
Oh,
Yeah, so he made these. Yeah, I'm not gonna give too much away, but he made these fucking pretzel things, and they were so good. Oh my god, they were so good.
Nice.
And then we just hung out the rest of the time. Laid low.
That sounds good, man. Nice low key weekend, spending time with friends and family. You can't ask for much more than that. It's good. It's good stuff.
Took some shit off the walls last night up in the one toy room and boxed it up, and
wait, say again.
took some stuff off the walls up
Stuff
in the,
off the walls.
yeah. Took all the Black Series stuff down.
Oh,
Was that stuff on its way out? I think I heard some rumblings about that.
So, JD,
Yes, we're gonna get rid of all the sealed stuff that we have.
okay.
Yeah.
So JD, does that mean before I sell you any of the Black Series I've been accumulating, I need to take it out of the box first?
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Oh,
It's less trash I got to deal with.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
No,
Getting out.
you don't have to. But
Boxing all that stuff, getting out of it, all the extra. That's what you were doing to the Transformers stuff. I remember too.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that you still had in package. You know, the combiner
Yeah.
wars, Titans Return, all that.
yeah, it's just become one of those things. It's like we need to make room, and you know, there's always something bigger and better, and it's like, okay, well, why do we need so many of these?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just time to slim it down so we can have room for, you know, bigger and better stuff, you know?
Yeah.
All right, put a pin in that because there might be a topic I think that Gary suggested that we could maybe come back and spin to right there. I just want to say hello to Dominic first. Dominic, how are you?
Doing good. Week was great. Just chilled. A very relaxing weekend.
Yes.
Playing some Call of Duty with the boys. Purchased, I think I purchased it. Yeah. It's been fun, you know.
You're keeping your kill to death ratio high in there?
Oh yeah. We had a good like last night was pretty fun because we were doing one-on-one free for all type of thing, and it was like I think it was 6 or 7 of us in there, and just tooling off on Dave just is so much fun.
Nice.
And then you got Vinny creeping around, and you know, skinny Vinny, you know, he can sneak through walls and shit, cracks in the floor, and peek up out of nowhere and just shoot you with his AUG.
Damn, Dom, that's harsh.
Oh, it gets bad. It gets bad. We have fun though. We have a lot of fun. Dude, zombies. Like I don't play much zombies in Call of Duty, but that zombies is just scary, dude. Just so scary. Like that whole fucking running around, and like after a certain level, it just gets ridiculous because you're just running for your life and trying to get separation from all, like this herd of zombies that are chasing you. And it's funny because you see, like, you have like 6 of us running around this fucking map, and there's a horde of zombies chasing each one of you. And then, like, if you get caught in the crossfires and just like run into somebody else's group of zombies, it's just, you're like fucked.
You see yourself get like torn open like when they get you and shit.
Nah, you die out, but like it's just like, they get so fast, so it's not like you can stand in one place or just, you know, you can jive around a little bit. You have to literally run around the map, and like they'll just run right after you. And then they have zombie dogs, and like these masters show up that are a little stronger than other zombies, but like it's crazy. Like, and you got to upgrade throughout the levels, and like he's pretty good at it, and he just, you know, he kind of directs all of us to, you know, what we need to do. But you know, after a while, like it gets to like level 20, 24. It just becomes like a fucking shit show with zombies, just like 1,000 zombies running after you.
Horde mode. That's fun. Yeah, that shit is cool. Gotta maybe get my Xbox this generation so I could get on with y'all, since a lot of y'all playing the Xbox.
It's actually I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than others. This one I'm enjoying a lot more than the last 2. I rarely played the last one, so this one I'm kind of enjoying, and it has that old feel. So like you definitely, you know, the gunfighting is really good. You know, it's not quick kills, so you tend to you know, be able to move and have a good gunfight here and there. So you have to, you know, know the game and pivot and move around while you're shooting and aim. So it's like it gives me flashbacks to the old modern warfare that we used to play.
Yeah, sounds like fun. Nice. Anything else?
No, I'm just, you know, just chilling, you know, loving working from home. Like the whole week, it's just fucking 1 week, dude. It's just one fucking day. I don't know what Monday. When Monday begins, it's just one fucking day. It just goes all. Yeah.
One long day.
It's like you're able to spread out your time. Like, you know, I don't necessarily get all like I'll work whenever I feel like it, so it's.
Well, it's a nice perk. Nice perk to work in the underwear.
Yeah, like it's not that busy right now at work, so it's like I get whatever I gotta get done, and then like my boss is calling me to help him out with this and that, and I'll help him out, and typically I'll ask like do you need this today or you need this by the end of the week? And he's like, oh, by the end of the week is fine.
What time of day do you typically start the picnics?
About 1:00, 1:30.
Okay.
If I can get my ass off the couch, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I just see Dom setting the table, putting out the condiments and stuff. Just
I'm trying to cool down with that. So it's like now it's like salad, like most of the time, and I'm trying to get on a good eating habits this 2021 So.
Mhm.
Been somewhat successful.
I was about to say, how's that working out for you? Is it okay?
I had a cheat day. On Saturday? I think I went over to my sister's house. So
What's a good cheat day? What's that consist of? Like, do you go like all in, like all day, or is it just like a?
Oh yeah, no, it's all day.
So all day.
Yeah, like I didn't eat much during the day, and then
we should clarify. It's not a cheat day.
Cheat meal.
Yes, it's supposed to be a cheat meal, meaning for the
Gary.
meal that you do whatever you want for that meal, right? And just remind yourself, it's not an eating competition. You have to go crazy, and then you have that meal, and then you go back to your plan, like whatever's the next meal afterwards. But it's not a whole day.
So I can't have Popeyes for lunch and then McDonald's for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. That's not the point.
Yeah, we had like I had like a double fucking cowboy burger from like Arby's or something like that, and like loaded tater tots and shit. It was
Oh my god!
Oh, you ate Arby's?
I was at
Hey,
Arby's.
Arby's
I can't
was
remember. I think it was Arby's or what's that?
Dude, might have been
What's that?
Roy Rogers at that point. Good grief!
Nah, somebody that had tater tots because I was in the mood for fucking tater tots. So
Sonic? Was it Sonic?
no, it was not
Oh my
Sonic.
god, no Sonic, no Arby's around here. No got any of that here.
Arby's is like
Yeah, we
the
did-
only.
what is
If
that?
we get
It was
fast
the
food,
people-
that's the only one we'd eat.
We have like
Arby's,
a
yeah.
Checkers,
That's
which
good.
I
That's
think
good
is
food.
probably the equivalent of maybe a Sonic or something like that, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Oh, we used to have
Sonic-
Checkers in certain parts of Florida when I was in college, and we had Checkers when I was in Ohio too.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah, we've got a couple of spots around here. It's not a spot like I've seen like a lot, but there's a few. There's a few.
We just got one. I never see anyone there.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it's-
they pop.
No, I wouldn't
There's-
say we
there's-
got one like a year or so ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Maybe.
They popped around here and then they went away real quick. So
They used to have the really good banana milkshakes, actually.
oh really?
hmm
That actually sounds pleasing.
and a shake. Yeah, that does sound good.
But shouldn't I just go to like a Dairy Queen for something like that?
DQ, man, that's another thing.
You,
That's
you
not
could
around
you
here.
definitely could go to Dairy Queen for a banana shake. You don't have to go to Checkers.
Dairy Queen
Peanut
sells
butter
like
sauce.
burgers and stuff too, right? Do they do that there or no?
Yeah,
What?
at least the one up street here does. They completely tore the old one down and built a whole new one, and it has like a sit-in restaurant and shit.
Yeah, they do burgers, hot dogs, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just an ice cream shop. All right,
God
nice.
damn it, I'm fucking hungry now. Fucking Arby's.
All
and
right,
some
we
Dairy
gotta
Queen.
wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Arby's. I mean, just from the commercials I've seen, I'm like, nah, I'm not a fan. Like, I'm not gonna I wouldn't go to like a place like that to get like a sandwich. That's more of like a sandwich spot, right? And they got different types. Like, I'm not a
I mean,
roast
they-
beef
We
guy.
got the meat.
I'm a simple ham and cheese on a roll. You know?
I mean, they do cold cuts and shit now too.
Yeah.
Deli
I don't.
sandwiches.
I don't even like going to Subways for something like that. Like, I'd rather go to like a regular, like just deli, like a bodega on the corner.
Who goes to Subway, dude?
Yeah.
Well, not
That's
all of
insane.
us have bodegas on the corner.
Yeah,
Or the supermarket, they do that too. You know, they got the little.
yeah.
You could get a sandwich. So,
I got Wawa's. Wawa.
Yeah, we've got Wawa, and Publix deli is pretty on point too. If you ever,
Oh, that's like a grocery store, right?
it is, yeah, it's the main grocery store chain, and it's but their deli section is actually pretty good.
I go to Whole Foods. They have
That's where I get my
great selection
no, that's just where I get
keto salad.
where I get chicken. That's all I get there.
Oh, Maya vouches for Arby's. So okay, I gotta try it. I've just never really had the pleasure.
Great.
I gotta check it out.
They're awesome.
Gotta check it out.
He's got the meat.
Yep.
I mean, I don't get anything else there except the roast beef. But,
Yep.
Mhm.
Beef and cheddar, baby. Beef and cheddar.
I
Beef
see
and
they
cheddar?
put the onions on the rolls for the beef and
That's-
cheddar, so that's
Yeah,
why.
but you can,
shy away.
if you really don't like that, then you can get a
Okay.
regular roll.
I can
Yep.
ask for a regular roll.
Is it like that sandwich spot we went to in Reston? Remember? Did any of us eat there on the panel?
No, you're talking about
Panera?
Potbelly?
Yeah, I think that's the spot.
No,
That reminds me of
Potbelly's
a
is
Quiznos, like a Quiznos.
yeah. I was just gonna say Potbelly's is more like I was gonna say
Oh,
Arby's is definitely
Quiznos,
more
yeah.
more fast food feel.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was
Wait,
right.
is Wes in PA? He said
What?
He said Nito motherfucking burrito.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't got that here. Is
I don't
that
have
a
a
Great.
burrito.
Where you
Pennsylvania
at, Brett? Wes?
Pocket? He's on the trail. Like the Nito. Never heard of it.
Oh,
That's like when we were down for one of those shows. Remember, I'm like, "What the fuck is a Bob Evans?" And we were supposed to meet for breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have no clue what that is. Like, it's just a chain. Chain that's.
yeah.
Oh man! All right, so JD, you mentioned boxing up your Black Series, so sort of getting rid of your extras. Are you getting out of that line completely, or are you just
No.
He's
Just
trimming it.
all
He's
of-
trimming it.
just
all
trimming
the-
the fat? Trimming the fat.
Yeah, all the sealed stuff. We're getting rid of it.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Because
yeah.
Gary posed a question to us in the chat about
Yeah,
trying to quit toy lines and stuff, and whatever toy lines you're trying to quit, just keep pulling you back in. So you got an idea about that, G?
yeah. So that was my question to you guys: is if there was a line that you collected, and then you thought maybe I'll transition, something different, or maybe a different scale for that same property, and then do you find that line somehow brings you back? I was thinking a little bit. I was trying to find it and in the ROC channel, but I know it was probably like 2 or 3 years ago we did a topic of New Year's collecting resolutions, and I myself remember talking about, I'm not going to buy Black Series anymore. JD and I had a good conversation about how it was all just humans and they hadn't done any of all the different characters or Jedi and creatures and things like that. And since then, I think I've cycled through where I started buying some Black Series again, and then kind of maybe switched over, or like even now I find myself kind of just transitioning maybe from 6-inch into the 3 3/4 line for Star Wars because of the Razor Crest that I have coming and a couple other things, just interest wise. But it's interesting because it's one of those lines that has, I've collected and then cycled out of, and then find myself attracted to it again as it's gotten better, and the figures have improved and the variety has increased, and obviously some of the properties for the stories themselves, such as like the Mandalorian, maybe spark some more of the interest. But I was just curious if you guys have had that kind of back and forth with any lines that you thought you were done with, and then find yourself back into it again.
McFarlane.
Okay. That's pretty broad, though. Is it Spawn? Is it like
yeah,
his...
so I, so when I first started getting serious about collecting again, I was still in high school and shit. So it was like Power of the Force stuff and McFarlane Spawn stuff, and went how many years, and I had all that stuff, and then I got rid of all the Spawn stuff because I didn't collect it anymore, and then of course he picks up the DC line, and
Right.
he's making all these different characters and stuff, and of course she was the one that originally bought the first couple, and
floodgates have opened.
Yeah, you see all the improvements in what the toys that he's making. So
When you were doing it back in the day, were you like all in on the McFarlane line, like, or just collecting?
oh
certain
yeah,
characters?
no, so the way he did it, there was always variants.
Right,
of
I remember that.
pretty much every character, and I had every variant.
Yeah.
And
So,
I stopped collecting those probably around like series 40.
Did
something
they
like that.
really go that high? Because I know they eventually got to
Yeah.
a point where they were doing a lot more like static figures, like sort of like based off like the comic covers and stuff like that. And then
I mean,
That's where I
most of them were that way anyway. You know what I mean? There was very limited articulation in most of them.
but JD, were you collecting like the Spawn specifically? Did you get into like McFarlane horror stuff, or how-
Some of the horror stuff. I
okay.
did the total chaos.
Right. Okay, that's what I was gonna.
They did like Young Blood and
The Zodiac,
I mean-
those Zodiac figures, right?
um.
Didn't
I
he
don't
do
know.
those like
I
for
don't
the different
think
Zodiac
I got
signs? I
any of
think.
the Zodiac. I did the monsters. Like
Where the wild things are.
dragons.
Yeah. I was gonna
Yeah.
say the dragon line, right? That was the other one.
Yeah.
That
The
was,
wild things are.
Yep. Yeah, we have a set of the where the wild things are upstairs. We gotta find
Those
a place to
statue
put them.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found some at ToyCon. Remember
Yep.
ToyCons?
Yep.
And I just recently refound them last weekend. I was like, I remember
Nice.
buying these.
Yeah.
What the hell was I thinking? Um,
So what got you out of those? Like if you and now, well, I mean, I guess just I know curiosity probably makes you want to dip your toe back into like the current and modern stuff. What made you cut the McFarlane stuff off before?
Just seeing other toy companies and what they were doing,
Yeah.
like as far as articulation and the properties, and when I got out of it, there was really no direction. He just kept making the same characters over and over again. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
kind of like what Hasbro was starting to pull with Black Series. They just kept making main characters and different renditions of them, and there was like regular Spawn and Dark Ages Spawn and Commando Spawn, and they're just like different
Yeah.
renditions of the same characters, and it's like, I can't do this anymore.
See, that was a pet peeve I used to have back in the day with even like the mainstream companies when they did stuff like that. Like a lot of that Spawn stuff, they had maybe versions of that like in the comic book, but like when DC gave you like all these different like Batman figures, Arctic Batman, Lava Batman, outer space Batman, like it was to me that felt like it was just too much. You're just
right.
Yeah.
pushing.
And Transformers was the other reason too. So it was always Star Wars and Transformers.
Yeah.
So-
All right. I mean, but the current McFarlane stuff is looking really, really good. So now, do you see yourself just basically that's another line you're going to be collecting now?
Cherry picking.
Yeah.
If we don't buy it, we don't buy everything.
And it's a great, actually, it is a really good line to cherry pick, because it's not like
Yeah.
there's no sequence, there's no kind of, he's just putting things out there that he feels like he can do, and it's like, you don't have to get them all. There's like he's touching little animated, he's touching like some generic comic book, and then he's touching like some really out there series like Metals, and doing some gory stuff that you typically wouldn't see a mainline do, and like so I think it's great because for some of these characters that were never made, and he has the ability to do them, like the Batman that laughs and some of these evil dark characters. I think he's nailing them, like definitely nailing them, and I've been picking up those because they're so interesting, and they're just, he's doing the sculpts, and what he's doing is pretty good. So,
And you're picking those up like basically just based off the look of them, right? You're not like have you read any of like the source material?
I've I've watched, I've never read, but like I've watched the comic series on YouTube and stuff like that, and got into the lore of it because of the look. Like I've seen it first, and then I'm like, oh, let me look into this, and and I started, listening to some of the comic book series on YouTube and understanding where the characters come from, and the whole backstory on all of them. But it's just the look of them is just definitely right towards what McFarlane does. So
yeah, I was gonna say that, like it's like right up his alley with the Spawn stuff. I think that's probably why, like he, like you see so many of these like metals like characters coming out like in those type of renditions, because it seems like very similar to Spawn. That's style of what Spawn was.
Mm-hmm.
Jose, what about you? Because I know you did a lot of like some of the Japanese like Transformer stuff. I've seen you bring to some of the shows that you did, and then some of the figure arts, right? Some of the Kamen Rider stuff over the years and stuff. Yeah. Do you have any of those kind of brought you back, or?
I'm very close to actually, like I think when we showed it off on ETR, that new Kamen Rider figure that like Hanny got in stock, that Kamen Rider buys. I saw that series back in the day, so I really like that character, the look of that suit and little like weapons that it comes with, like in the briefcase and all that. So very, very tempted to start getting back into that stuff if they're putting out like updated renditions of like those characters of those series. I haven't jumped in yet, but very, very like tempting, and dabbling, my toes and some back into like some of the third party stuff, because like again, I really was trying to swear all that stuff off and save some money and stick with mainline. But certain little pieces here and there, like the Unicron and that New Age Mista figure, like then those Kang toys, Predacons, like just certain pieces I got my eye on that I'm like, I can't pass up on this. Like I'm mad I passed up on that RC, Afate had that the Nice or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Nice
anime one. Like I wanted to grab that to check it out, and it was sold out everywhere. He had one for sale, and I didn't jump on it, again because I'm like trying to be like, do I want to spend $140?
Right.
And, so trying to balance that want and that need, and wanting to just be interested and check something out. So
it's for the best. You don't want to buy that figure used anyway.
Probably have to spray it down, right?
Right.
Well, so another one for me I'll share was in 07 when the 25th anniversary Joe line was coming out, right? The first thing they did were these 2 5-packs in these really cool kind of like trapezoid like shaped boxes of 5 Joes, 5 Cobras, and had this little thing with batteries that would play like the song and stuff, this little like decorative piece in there. And I went pretty hard in the Joe stuff, and tracking down some of the reissue vehicles from the 90s that Toys R Us carried, and then that 25th line quite a bit, and then kind of cycled through all that stuff. And then they make the Hiss tank again, right? And I'm like, Dom, help me find one, at Walmart, just because of the retro box art, and stuff like that. But I've owned probably a dozen Hiss tanks in my adult life. And then, so I kind of head back into, a couple 3 3/4 Joe things because of that.
Nice.
So yeah, it's interesting, right? It's interesting
certain things
come back around.
There's certain things that always sort of maybe get you to go back. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just, it goes back to the love that we have for like some of the stuff and that nostalgia. And, and that's what it is, I think, basically. Like I'm this close also, like just because of the Hasbro, they're putting out all the Legends, and they got the Joes stuff coming out. They're doing such a great job with like the Power Rangers figures, and all this stuff is in the same scale. So anybody that wants to like kind of mess with those, and they could do these great things like with toy photography and things like that. I got so sucked into that when, in the middle of the MCU and Marvel Legends were putting out all these, great, updated figures. And I spent hundreds on that stuff, but then wound up like eventually selling it because it's just like, this isn't something that I'm really, really like going for. But that temptation is there because of the way like some of these newer figures look, the classic, the way that some of these classic characters look from Marvel Legends of what they're putting out, these G.I. Joe figures that everybody's going crazy for, like seeing how much trouble everybody's having sort of acquiring some of them makes me not want to jump in, but the way they look fantastic. Like, so the curiosity is there, like for sure, to pull me back. I'm resisting the urge for now, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I'm putting it out there. Anybody finds any Vipers, hit me up.
Yeah.
Your boy.
I could have a Viper, please.
We should, and that's something we could probably touch on too a little bit later. Let's put a little pin on that. Did anybody else have anything like a toy line, like Gary was saying, something that keeps pulling you back in?
Like there's a lot of things that I do think about getting rid of stuff, but I never do. But so I'm pointless in this subject.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's things that I would love to get rid of. Like I've been even thinking about getting rid of my Mythic Legions and just saying, what the fuck, and put it into something else. But
right. Mm-hmm. So but that's interesting. So if I could ask you a question, is it the fear that you'll regret getting rid of that line, or is it because of the effort, right, that goes into collecting it? And since you share that you like to complete when you go in on something, you try to complete most things.
Yeah.
So is it the effort that you don't want to lose, right, that you put into putting it together?
It's definitely the effort when it comes to like Black Series and Marvel. Like I've been collecting that for so long, and to just get rid of it and having like a little bit of the fear, like you said, of regretting that I don't want, from the next thing that comes out that I love and whatever they're doing, and all of a sudden I'm like, shit, why the hell did I get out of this collection? And now you're going back in and steamrolling through and picking up all the old figures that you let go. So like it's definitely a little bit of both, to the point where if as much time I put into it, it's hard to let go. And then on top of that, if I do pull the trigger and do let it go, I know there's, I have done that in the past where I've early in my collecting life, I would like, I bought a bunch of Transformers, looked back and said, what the hell am I doing? I sold it all. And then I said, oh shit, I really want these things. And I bought them all back. So it's like, I know I have those, I know I would have that feeling. And due to the fact that I'm just a collector, so I would just want something. So, but I feel like it would be easier for me if I do get let go of like Mythics or Black Series, I just take that and transfer it into something else. And I might, but like right now, I'm not getting pushed to doing that because I really don't need the money to sell a collection like that to put into another collection. I can just buy that collection out of, So if there was a time where that was a case where, I don't have as much residual income to say, what, I can't dive into this new collection, I need to sell some other old collection that I have, I probably would. Like, if I really do love that new collection or the new whatever somebody else is doing,
But I think some of the excitement, like, so those of you guys that have sold like at NJCC, right? Like Brian, Jose, you guys have had some pretty stellar weekends there. Mm-hmm. I know JD, you and Chan have had some big table events. Like, is it part of the fun turning that stuff into the other collection though, without spending what I call it like real money? Don't get me wrong, like money's money, so I'm not frivolous by any way, but like I think that's part of the exciting part is when you take all those other things and then, like you said, JD, with the Black Series, you figure out what you don't need or really want anymore and turn that into something else. I think that makes whatever that something else is, whatever it is, like far more exciting to know that I didn't just buy it, I put forth the effort and I converted this other stuff back into that.
So that's kind of what got us into like the Masters of the Universe Classic stuff.
Okay.
Is some of the stuff we ended up trading, or we ended up having a really good weekend at a toy show and just picked up stuff, we out with the old and in with the new, and it's kind of exciting to have that, like that recycling, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also pretty cool if you look at it from the other end. Like somebody else is like, they've been looking for like at the one NJCC, I had a tote and it was just full of like the animated series, or I had one that was full of Energon and one of the what was it, Energon, and what was the other series? Cybertron, yeah.
Armada.
An Armada, yeah. So there was a guy, and I don't remember which ones he bought, but I think he bought like 2 of those bins, and like just a hey, what would you sell the whole bin for? And I was like, oh man, I don't know. So I just like quick did some math I was comfortable with, and I was like, that's pretty much all of them. And he's like, yeah, I already kind of went through and just to see what was missing. And there's not much that's missing that I have to track down. Like if I buy all these, like that's majority of my collection. And he was really excited about that,
That's
and to give someone that,
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
to let someone else enjoy that. That's another part of it,
Yeah.
Like
That-
I know someone else is gonna enjoy tearing into all those Black Series boxes, or going through all those Transformers or whatever.
Yeah, that is a good feeling, and sometimes you do, like, it's funny because now bringing up the selling and stuff, like now that I think about it, I'm like, I've sold some like Transformers Prime figures loose, and now like I wish I could get back. Because it's like, now I think about it, man, like that was a good figure, like I just wasn't really into it at the time, so I just threw it in the bin, and now it's sold, and then like I'm digging through my bin to be like, wait, did I sell that? And I'm like, yeah, I did, man. I can't mess with it now, but it is nice that for the most part, I don't really feel that way, because I mean, the great thing is, you collect this stuff, and with Transformers and this Generations line in particular, they'd always seem to be coming out with better versions of characters they already put out. So once they start doing that, I feel like a little bit like it's easier to get rid of like that older version sometimes, like if that version, like, I feel like is not up to par compared to the new one. So, but somebody like you said, JD, like, looking for that maybe never had it, or is just maybe in particular looking for that piece that you once enjoyed. Shit, that's great. And somebody else could, you could sell it, make some money back on it, and then somebody else is really enjoying it in the process as well. So.
Well, and I think when in the realm or however other groups people participate in, like for me, so much of it was always just kind of the anonymous like eBay sales. Before I knew you guys, and I was active several years ago, so it was just kind of like I put it out there, right? It's gone, and then just kind of doing it by yourself. But I know like Esteban had a good post, with Tyler selling some of his hot toys, right? And yeah, I think he picked up the Dark Side Anakin. Maybe I'm off. But he had a nice comment that was cool to take a piece of Tyler's collection, right, and transfer it over into his collection now, and knowing where that item came from to So I think that part's pretty cool too, when you're able to grow that way, So
I definitely agree there.
Yeah.
Gary, unfortunately for your topic, I have yet to exit something, I think, and have something call me back. But hit me up in about a year. I think maybe that story will change.
it might be something else.
Yeah.
Well,
Come on, man, you never gotten rid of like a Prime or something that you wanted back, being like, man, I wish I got rid of that.
I
It
did
doesn't have to be a line.
and I did end up selling that Power Baser, and it is back in my pre-order pile.
wait, you bought that thing again?
Yeah, well,
You really disliked it. You like really, really disliked it. And to quote, you said how like unmasterpiece it was in like appearance and quality, everything.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Gary, the shelf was talking to me, it's whispering in my ear. Like,
Oh man.
Brian, you collect primes, and this is a really big one, and you should probably have in your collection. I was like, yeah, but it really it doesn't work. You had it on you. It just was not right. And still, it's like, but Fans Hobby, when they put out their version 2s and version 3s, they fix things, and then you don't have to be all angry at the fact that they didn't provide what they were supposed to provide in the first time and the next time. And I was like, well, maybe you're right. I don't know. It is a Prime. Maybe I should collect it. But it's yet to come in stock, and I will make another choice at that time. But also, too, Gary, a little insight into my mind. Keith, the maker of this thing, and yes, these feet still suck.
Right.
I don't care who the fuck someone said. If they sucked worse than these,
Yeah.
ouch. But he's supposed to be making a Power Master Prime, but there's been no word, no whisper of
Right.
that. So I'm like, maybe Maybe I'll just get this one and then I'll sell it again. Who knows?
Well, listen, none of this is permanent, right? I
Yeah.
think that's the interesting thing.
Well,
I've shared.
some of it's permanent. I think.
You think?
I don't know. I kind of have a mindset that stuff's permanent,
Oh, I don't know.
but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to let go of some of this stuff
I'm
sometimes.
kind of with Brian. It is like I have a permanency about like most everything, and it's
Well-
a very tough decision to make. Like it was hard enough for me to make that decision to be out of like mainline Transformers and sell all that stuff. And look at me, there was another one, and I'm back at it.
And now you're back in.
Yeah,
with
but the
newest-
line has changed, right?
yeah, the
Yeah,
line's
It's
changed.
not the same. It's not the same
Absolutely.
stylized stuff.
But
I will be
it's
curious,
going-
JD. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Don.
But it's always going to change. That's the thing.
Right.
Like they're not going to be putting the same piece of crap that they put out before. So it's
Well,
It's not always for the better, though, right?
exactly. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It could go. You can have a great line, and all of a sudden go take a step back and just be garbage.
So, like,
Yeah.
I'll be good.
real quick though, in JD's defense here, so when it comes to the mainline stuff, right? There was no expecting what we're getting now. There was no
Oh yeah.
reason
True.
for them to set
Right.
those expectations. This is a complete surprise.
Yep.
What they're giving us now with Earthrise and Siege before that. But come on, man,
I
some
think
of
the
those Power
surprise.
Primes, man, it's not good.
Right.
Yeah, I
I'll
think.
call
I
that
think.
Orange Sentinel Prime. It's not good.
Trash.
I think the surprise is it's not that they're going to change or do something different. It's that whatever they did was actually good. That's the surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think everybody knows that the next line, like after Kingdom, they're going to do something. I don't know whether they're going to reinstitute Combiner Wars again and do all those combiners in a better format or a better design and whatever the case may be. And I know me and Jose were talking about that because that's kind of the next repetition. That's where it's, if they're nailing all the Beast Wars, I'm sure they'll do Beast Wars, the main characters, maybe some of the Transmetals and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't think they're going to go into the Fusors and all the sublines that Beast Wars got into. But like I can see them getting into Combiner Wars and doing those combiners again and just taking another hack at it with new designs and engineering. And then after that, there's back to the beginning and just do another Optimus Prime and just do it better. And sometimes that better, like you said, Brian, it's not always the case. Sometimes they definitely do take a step back and do something more shittier than what they produced before. So.
Well, I'll be curious, JD, I'm sure like with what you have for Black Series, you'll be able to help people out pretty tremendously and do well for yourself financially, right? With what you've been collecting. So, maybe when that stuff is gone and the excitement for what you turn it into, I'll just be curious to see how you feel for that. But
the thing is with I think with Black Series, it's a smart move that JD's doing because you're getting rid of most of the old stuff that, they've reproduced already with the more better sculpt head. And if they haven't done it, they will eventually do it, and characters that, that in those older lines, a lot of that red box line, the black and red box line is just garbage. Like it's just a lot of it. It's just, there's great characters. And I know like JD said, like they did most of the movie characters when they do in the movies, they didn't really do or go, out into rare characters that are like some people are looking for. But I feel there's a lot of like especially in the black red box, there's a lot of like those characters that you're gonna have a hard time getting rid of because it's just nobody wants them.
There's too many of them. Don't you think that's like going to be a problem for series like that? Like
always, it's the
for
same
Star
thing with
Wars,
Marvel.
because you could only do the character so many times. Like with Transformers, they reinvent themselves. There's so many different versions of said character. You could have different types of engineering, so each toy could always be different. But an action figure is an action figure, So unless you keep doing new outfits and stuff like that, like how do you keep it fresh? Unless you just keep keep making significant leaps in like the action figure itself, like how often they do that.
The thing is with Transformers, there's not many characters that, as if you compare to Star Wars and like Marvel, it's just you just have a long list of characters when it comes to Star Wars, and which they haven't done all of them. Like especially in the 6-inch series, like the 3-inch, I'm sure they've gotten to like a lot of them, but the 6-inch, they still there's still some good characters that they can do that people could definitely, buy and be popular in a wave and drive a wave to purchase that wave and such. But we'll see. And then there's new media coming out all the time, so it's like
that's true too.
You're gonna get new characters in this new media, and
well, so that so Jose, you're talking about like re-entering and going back on some stuff. I've told you guys before, like I did the Motu Classics 10 years ago, right? And I did subscriptions. That was my gateway into third-party Transformers and Fans Toys, Scoria, right? And Quakewave and stuff by, selling those items. And now, like in retrospect, obviously, I mean, some of that stuff, if I'd kept it, would be way more expensive than what I sold it for then. And I thought some of it had appreciated a lot. The Origins line, I know it's not the same. It's far, far cheaper, right? And it's being sold at retail now, both Target, not just the Walmart exclusive. It's fun. It's kind of neat to see the retro look with articulation, but it is much, much cheaper than the classic stuff. Mm-hmm. But to go back into that classics line, it's like super cost prohibitive, for some of those things now if you're not already into it. And to your point, Dom, about the new media, right? For me, it was like, okay, the Origins can kind of maybe satisfy that I guess that craving temporarily, and in hopes that whatever the Netflix series does, or whatever they go back to in a classic style, maybe has a combination and does a classics look that's more adult with some updates to the actual construction from like 10 years ago from what they used.
So Gary, then for your question, it wasn't so much going back into the same line, but going back into the franchise type of thing.
I think it could be either or, honestly, because it's two different things. Because like I said, Black Series 6-inch in and out continuously. I know a lot of people go in and out of Marvel Legends. It seems like,
because I'll tell you, if I had exited, like if I was a big time Chug collector and exited that, or same thing with a Masterpiece. If I had ever exited that a few years ago, I definitely would have dove back in on the Legends game for sure.
Oh yeah,
that definitely would have had me back in. And then I'm trying to think of something else that I was messing with and left potentially to go back into the franchise. But
so let me ask you this, Brian: do you think you would miss if you got rid of your MCU figure arts stuff? Would you really miss them, or do you think you've just committed to that line so you continue to buy what you need to finish up as those characters came out?
So it's interesting, like if I was to exit that, which I probably should, if I was to exit that, I would still feel a gap in the representation in my collection for those characters. So I might go back in on, say, maybe like some statues or something like that, or perhaps because if I got tired of figure arts, really, if there's any figure arts MCU collectors out there, I mean, we need a support group, because they keep screwing with us with these multiple releases of the same character in the same damn movie, and you're like, I'm trying to build a display here, which one do I need? All right, let me just get them all and then make a choice. I don't know. Maybe I'm the weakest and do that, and everybody else is stronger. But what was I saying? But with a statue, it's you know what? You're gonna fork over a whole bunch of money for something that looks great, and even if it's not the exact costume that you like this character to be in, screw it. It's gonna be a great representation. It's gonna represent your love for that franchise, and it's gonna be good. Listen to Bobby talk years ago. I think he was talking to Lotus Stark. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's a podcast panelist on the Open Your Toys podcast, and he dabbles in the groups. And he used to tell Bobby, he's like, all roads lead to quarter scale. And I've thought about that in depth, and I'm just like, you know what? You you're collecting these toys, and then like after a while, I know some of you guys don't feel the same way, but after a while, it's like, oh, these are like turning into knickknacks,
Yep.
and like eventually, I just, it's time to purge and just buy something big that represents it, and something meaningful to you, and then you don't have to worry about that other stuff anymore. But
I'm gonna say, I'm sorry to interrupt, Brian, but like the thing is that I feel, it's funny because I watch some statue reviewers, and when they get like, if they're just straight up statue collectors, 1/4 scale or 1/3 scale statue collectors, when they get themselves like a hand on the Hot Toys or an action figure, they're surprised about it. Like, I've seen a statue collector who just straight up collects statues, but then all of a sudden he bought his first Hot Toy, and he was amazed. Like, he was like, "Oh my god, this is like a statue that I can actually move and articulate and position differently when I get tired of the one position that the statue is giving me the whole time." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it gives it definitely gives you alternatives, but like,
and Dom, you basically just touched on what my next point was. Sure, I may have bought this big thing that I love, but guess what? I don't have anything to fiddle with, and I'm gonna
and I think that's why a diverse, like, you can you can have the statues, but you can also have the figures and the action figures. It's not like all roads lead to that one point. Right. I think what you're trying, like, from my perspective, but like, I like to achieve a diverse where I do have the statues, I do have the Hot Toys, I do have the figures, so it's touching every little basis that in my collecting, in world that I've been developing, and it's just like, this is what I like. I have a little bit of everything, and I can enjoy a little bit of everything. So I think you win. I think I win. I think that's a winning solution, because if you kind of, don't get me wrong, if you're just a straight up statue collector and you want to just do statues, that's great. Yeah. I'm not faulting you for it, but I'm just saying, like, if you have a little bit of everything, I think you're good. You're good for it,
dude. Dom, I agree with you 100%. My challenge is, those kind of simpler, fun things, is to just not buy stuff out of boredom. And I say boredom, or we all talk about chasing that little initial fix, right? Sometimes it's boredom, sometimes it's trying to get that short high for a purchase. Maybe it's FOMO. I've been guilty of that too. But I'm with you, man. Sometimes the simpler stuff, it can be so entertaining. Those Star Wars Mission series figures, right? I put in our chat. I bought that 5-pack that came with Cara Dune, because like the Grogu is different, than the one that came on the speeder bike. And I don't know, they're kind of fun. They don't do a whole lot, but they're kind of fun just to move around and stuff. And it just made me realize, I'm like, I don't need like life-size Sideshow child, and a plushie, and 6-inch and 3 3/4 of all the same thing. But yeah, I think having some of those, I don't know, stuff that can be more fun is a good balance to your point. Because like I know you have that giant G2 Megatron statue, right? You showed us, you got a couple years ago. Beautiful piece. Do you have the masterpiece Takara,
I have the
as well, right?
Yep,
and you just got like the Kingdom, right?
Yep.
Right. So there's 3 like different representations, but one is $50, and the other ones are far more expensive, right? So if you wanted to mess around with one, then you can do that, right?
Exactly, but like that.
Yeah, that's my point.
And I feel like also too, it not saying like a bunch of statues on a wall it's beautiful. I'm sure it is beautiful, but like I think also from a perspective of display and making your display more interesting, if you do have that diversification of just a statue, a figure, maybe the helmet of that guy or the vehicle of that individual, like and all displayed and homaging that character or whatever you want to do. I think that will make your display a little bit more pop out, and you have that that scale going from a $50 toy to $1,000 statue. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely will bring out your display if you change it up a little bit. I've seen a lot of people who are statue collectors start getting involved in Hot Toys and props and and spicing up their displays by giving that little diversification and putting that spread and going with a helmet of Boba Fett with the Boba Fett statue, or a hot toy Boba Fett with the Boba Fett a Slave One vehicle right next to it. You know what I'm saying? So it gives it kind of that nice feel, and it makes your displays pop. I think when I see it.
Almost like they're doing it like in the reverse way, not that the action figures and then you move your way up to quarter scale. It's almost like people that probably just collected that and then discovering like a love for maybe some of the, I don't want to say lesser quality, but just some of the something that's maybe just a little bit cheaper in nature, but something that they can still enjoy and mess with. Because I know I'm exactly that type of collector that like as great as a statue is, and I've had a couple of them. Like I feel like the characters that I love from all these different franchises and stuff need better representation than just maybe just one thing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm definitely the type that likes to fiddle, which is like why I like the mainline stuff.
Exactly, exactly. And I know there's going to be a time where if I'm walking into my collection room and I'm looking at my display. And I'm seeing a statue, and I'm like, and I don't have that figure that I can just grab and play with and enjoy or tinker with. Then I can't tinker with a statue. I can't do that with a statue. So to have that in my collection and have that, in the display, and then all of a sudden walk up to that display, open that door, and just pull out that figure and play with that figure for whatever 10 minutes, 30 minutes of that night that I'm just reminiscing. Then and put it back, and that's what is fulfilling for me. That's that $50-$100 toy that is all articulated is fulfilling that void in my collecting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, look, Shay's like no bickering among the quarter scale collectors, so maybe that's a good reason to get into it.
There is, yeah.
That's good stuff.
Because it's all the same. Like you can't complain. It's like I don't see anybody. It's all beautiful. It's. When you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on statues, you can't you can't say, oh, my Darth Vader statue is better than your Darth Vader statue. It's not.
Yeah, I paid $5.
Hey, it might be the same damn statue, but like when you compare Prime One Studio, Darth Vader statue to an Iron Studios Prime, Darth Vader statue, they're both beautiful. There's either or, you're not going to go wrong with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's weird.
Dom and Brian, in regards to kind of what Gary said a little bit earlier about like maybe when you don't go in on something and you miss out and having to pay the late tax, you guys, like you said, you haven't really given up on much that you feel like you've needed to go back. So does that play a role in any way about that? Like let me just get this now because it's going to be more later if I miss it. I know that's something we all struggle with, but does that keep you kind of in a line, sort of, and it keeps you?
It definitely. Yeah, like I from my completist standpoint, I like buying things in a line, now rather than later. So I know. But then you're gonna get into that wave, and you're gonna probably spend close to a couple $100 on figures that don't go anywhere, like in value or any popularity or anything like that. So it both has its pros and cons in regards to collecting. You're gonna have if you don't collect them all, then you might miss out on a figure that might go up and you would have to pay 3, 4, 5 times. But at the end of the day, you didn't buy all the crappy figures. And that money saved could have been the money that you spent to buy the one figure that you missed that is worth 3 times the value now, and you just saved your money on buying all those crappy figures that you didn't have to buy because you're not interested in them, and then just move that money into a figure that you are interested in and just have to spend 3 times the value of it. So
that's a lesson I just learned.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it happens, but I just at this point in my life, I'll just collect. I'm more of a completionist, and I just basically collect due to off that, Jose. So I know I have it. If it does go in price, I don't have to worry about it. And if I lose interest in it, I'll let it go. It all depends.
Well, you're not gonna let it go. We know
that.
I know.
Yeah, Jose, I think for me, it's like it's not so much picking up now because it's going to cost more later. It's going to be like I've made a decision to go in on certain lines, and I'm just going to get everything, and I'll sort it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, yeah, I guess that's right. I'll just sort it out later. I don't know. I'm collecting
And with-
too many lines.
So, and with these, I just one more point. But these days, Jose, it's like with every company doing reissues. Like even Hot Toys are doing reissues. So it's like, do you really want to go after and spend $1,000 for a secondary market figure that's sold out? Like it's been sold out for 2-3 years, and all of a sudden, you just wait a little bit, and hopefully they'll reissue it.
Yeah.
Or
make a better
there's
version.
always. Yeah, or find something cheaper that represents that character, and until they reissue it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Clutch, right? Chris made a comment once on his show one time that stood out. It's probably a couple of years ago now. It's been a while.
Building up to it.
Yeah, that you don't have to have a representation, right? Necessarily for every property that you like in 3D form, right? So I have seen, like, I love the original Bill and Ted movie. I always have, like, before, Keanu was big again and John Wick and all that stuff. And I just came up on my feed, and I've seen them. I've never seen them in person, but there's this company called Incendium, I think, and they have like a Bill and Ted like figure, and they did a phone booth. And I've looked at a couple of reviews, and they're like, you can find the figures for like $24 to like $30. And the phone booth I think is like $40. But the more I look, I'm like, they're kind of cheap. The paint looks really kind of bad, And it's been tempting a little bit. I was like, maybe I'll just get them, put them in the phone booth. That might look kind of cool. And then, I tell myself, am I really gonna want that like a month from now? Is it gonna make me happy? Do the reviews, like watching a YouTube review, will that kind of quench that idea? And then I kind of told myself, like, I don't have to have something physical in 3D because I like that memory, right, or that property. So I don't know. Maybe it's my own rationalization to not go in on some things, or try not to. But
I say that, Gary, and then when I buy the Iron Giant, I was like, thank God I bought this fucking thing because I love it. JD, it's like, yeah, I don't need a representation of Iron Giant. And then when I see the figure and I bought it from Mondo, I was like, yeah, I need this fucking figure. It's
Well,
like, I can see that happening, but
yeah.
Well, no, I mean that is true. Like, at first you said that, and I'm like, well, no, but then like it's like, yeah, because sometimes you do come to that realization. Like I was that guy that I wanted to have that Batman super figure, that Superman figure, that Flash figure, like everybody. I needed to have everybody, and in recent years I've gotten rid of a lot of that stuff. Even though I love comic books, I love those characters, I love Superman, Batman, all that stuff. I'm a huge comic book fan, but I've noticed. Like as far as collecting action figures, like I don't need to have everything in regards to that. Like I found like my love when it comes to buying action figures is mainly like Transformers and that particular thing. So that I've come to that realization that you don't need to have a representation, at least not action figure wise,
right?
Because I got plenty of comics and trade paperbacks and the hardcovers on my shelf.
So I took a page out of your book, Brian, with like Batman stuff, right? Meaning when you made the decision to make the Mega Constructs like your Motu collection, right? And you said that's the scale, and you stuck with that, and to see how much enjoyment you got out of that Castle Grayskull when you shared it like in your top picks. So for me, like I didn't share this. I had a gift card from Christmas, so I went up to a brick and mortar Lego store and got the '89 Batmobile. I think Ace had put that one together because I have the Tumbler and I had gotten the Batwing. That came out in the fall. So for me, that's like the big three. I don't need every single Batman Lego set that's out there, but those particular ones kind of stood out to me, and that's sort of like to your point, Jose. My Batman representation, right, is sticking with that. I don't have to buy a Mezco or a McFarlane to have that feel there, and it feels good. To kind of have said, I'll stick to Lego, right? And then,
it makes sense with you, Gary. From we know you, and the vehicles is what you go after.
Right,
so
exactly right. It hits that itch, right? Yep.
To you, where if you're going to go collect anything Batman, it would be the vehicles and like the Batmobiles and the Batplane and everything, the Batcopter and everything like that.
So it's just funny because I think we get to know each other pretty well on here, right? So like passionate wise, like Brian, like for you, like if I said, I think your Diaclone line and your Mo2 line seems to be the two things that you need the most excited about getting like this year. I know.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I could have been excited about Thundercats, but my Lion-O came
Right.
with a wonky eye.
Uh,
When it comes to that completionist stuff, remember when Matty Collector was doing Thundercats the first time,
mm-hmm.
right? And I was like, wow, this is it. I'm going to be able to get it on a line and complete it. And I was like, as a collector, I was like, this is going to be a fun experience. And then as soon as it washed out, I was like, let me go find something else that I can actually complete. I want to see if I can complete something. And I just recently thought of the Batman animated series that I went out. And fortunately, all those are like super cheap, so it wasn't that bad. But I just realized I have a full. I mean, I didn't get like the second version of that Batmobile that they released, but I have every character from that line. I don't have a place to put them. I just realized these Transformers take up a lot more room than you expect. But it's like, but now that I've kind of completed my Transformers collection, I'm like, wow, I didn't really need to complete something now. So, I don't know. What were you asking me? Like the passion with the Motu?
No, I was just trying.
So-
it's just an
right.
observation, but when you kind of see,
so it's
like,
nice, right? So I mean, those are things that I got in on the ground floor on for the most part, and I'm able to have a complete collection. This Motu thing, dude, it's getting ready to go real deep. Like it's got vehicles and stuff now, and I'm even with those things being small, they're starting to take up some room. I have a feeling the shelf life is going to be rather short on those. I might end up like there's so many figures now. Like the castle is cramped. Like there's no more room at the end. Unless you stand them shoulder to shoulder in there, peg to peg. So it's getting. I think it's starting to get a little ridiculous, but we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. There can't be that much more. But I tell you, if they put a Stake Mountain out, I'm going to be so tempted to get it, but I'm not going to have a place for that either, right? Yeah. I mean, I got to put a 3-foot Unicron somewhere around here.
I just thought about that too. Like, and I think that's a factor for a lot of collectors, right? Maybe, sometimes more so than others, it's like the amount of space you actually have to hold this stuff, display it, store it, I'm in a shoebox apartment. I don't got a ton of space, so I know. I mean, I got stuff in storage, but even that is kind of tight, So.
Jose, I can rent out my crawl space for you for that Unicron if you want. Give you a good monthly rate on it.
I should have had that shit sent to you. I probably would have saved $60 or $70 between sales tax and all that stuff.
But yeah, it's. I think when it comes to when we get to know each other, you understand what people like and what your friends like and what their angles are, and
Dom,
you
never get as excited. I think when you talk about like if you got rid of all of your Marvel Legends, I think you would sleep just as soundly tonight and tomorrow with them all gone and all that space. Because it's like your Hot Toys is when you get excited and like really you get pumped for it, and it's like JD like has an amazing collection. When you talk about anything from 1,000 toys, right? Whether it be like the Halo or 6-inch style or the 12-inch stuff that you've gotten, there's like a tone and like it's just different, right? So you can kind of see like what stuff people really, I think, care about, and then sometimes the stuff that we're all guilty. Like I'm equally guilty. Like I said, between the FOMO and the boredom, and getting caught up in hype sometimes. I bought what were those things we were all buying from Bandai a couple years ago before Toys R Us? Thank you. Yeah, yeah. The inspiration for the Phase Life, right? When everyone was like, hey,
I just found those. I feel the need to buy a Crash Box Dio just to make those specific figures mean something to me, right?
I still got those in the corner over there.
Yeah, see, I'm just saying. It's like, I don't know.
And that Diaclone collection, Gary, I think that's going to be a reward to myself. It's like somewhere in the future, I'm going to make some decisions and get this collecting under control, and then that's going to be my reward, is opening up those things. I'm going to take a week off and open them all up. And
I
then
think that
it's going to take me another week to put them all away because I don't have a place to put
that'll
them.
be a topic for another story, because I know Ace put in the chat that he's getting ready to do a massive Mezco unboxing, and I know Dave wasn't feeling 100%. I think, I don't know if he's in the chat or not. I didn't get a chance to see, but I helped him do a bunch of Mezco stuff last year, and that was like exciting and fun, but it was a lot of friggin' work. You know what I mean? So sometimes you gotta get some friends to help out with some of that stuff.
I mean,
So it's not overwhelming.
with that said, I mean, volume, do you think that does play like a factor? Like, a lot of us get in a ton of stuff, at a pretty, regular basis, daily, weekly, at points, so with that accumulation, it's almost like, would you even know if you had this particular piece? Would you even really miss it if it was gone? Like I think we probably all gotten to a certain point. Like Gary, like you're not a completionist anymore. You're kind of pick and go here and there, but a lot of us have some pretty big collections. So, so what if like this piece is missing? Like I'm sure we've all had pieces we probably haven't seen in years. No.
So Jose, it's funny that you mentioned that. So I'm building my Transformers Legends display on the top of my shelves, which is going to have the Titans that I've been accumulating over the years, right? Mm-hmm. And I've been collecting the Iron Factory Autobot cars, and I'm like, I was searching around. I was like, holy shit, they made a Wheeljack. I'm like, did I pick up that Wheeljack? Because like when you're moving stuff around so much, you kind of lose track of things. I'm like, there's the Jazz, there's the Hound, and I'm like, I was almost went to eBay and bought one immediately because I couldn't remember if I picked it up, and then eventually I did find it. But I was searching through like my past 2 years of like purchases on like different sites. I'm like, where the hell is it? I must have bought it at TFCon, I think. That was one, and believe it or not, the Siege Cog, right, which is the companion to Fort Max. Mm-hmm. That was one that I definitely wanted to get. I still haven't found that yet, but I know it's in this house somewhere. But I'm very, very tempted to go buy one before it's gone, But yeah, I lose track of stuff all the time. Also, too, like Dom, I don't know if you have this problem. JD, you're probably more organized, but like for years of me like sitting down on my dining room table, like getting stuff in, playing with it for a while. Oh shit, people are coming over. Throw everything in a big box, and then it's rinse and repeat, right? Kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I have stuff that I want to sell. I have no idea where the accessories are, right? Or like there's a couple small bins up there, and I'm like, oh no, they're probably all up in there. But I don't know what guns goes to which figures, kind of stuff. It's like, it's going to take me forever to figure this stuff out. But like, yeah, I have all these primes I've been digging out. I'm like, I don't know where any of their guns are.
That's why I individually bag everything. Like if a figure and its accessories will just go in a bag, like one bag.
And see, that would stress me the hell out, Brian. That
it's very stressful.
Yeah, it's just, oh my god, it's making me like tense, like thinking about it. Like I want to come help.
I will either. So like Storm's a good, example. Like I will take everything out of the box.
Yeah.
I will put all the accessories in a bag, and then all of my Storm accessories are in a bin. So like everything that Storm has done, of course, it's kind of, I don't know, if you know the characters, you'll know what's what. You know what I mean? They're only going to fit certain characters to begin with. But then, like, the Masterpiece stuff, Transformers, some of the other, like, more expensive lines, like, I'll leave the stuff I'm not using in the box.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, well, I don't have to go hunting for this stuff if anything happens or I need to sell it or, I just put that shit right back in the box.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I have, Martin. Everything goes back in the box. I haven't got to the point where I've gotten rid of boxes for items that I've bought. So it's like it definitely takes a lot more space. There's very, you have to be very clever with packing and make every little space, count. Mm-hmm. But it gets to me. I knew if I started doing that and condensing my space to and by eliminating packaging, I was going to lose the organization of all of it. So I was not going to be able to do it, and I knew I wouldn't do it. So I just resorted to just, if I ever took something out and played with it, I put it right back in the box where it, and put all the accessories where it's supposed to be, and then pack it up, and kept the box.
JD, do you label the bags, or do you cut part of the card or the box apart for that character and stick it in the bag as your label?
I don't alter the box at all. The Storm stuff, I know whose is who.
Okay.
And, I mean, it might just be like a matter of which version of Scorpion is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That might be the hardest thing. There are certain lines, like I did, like bag the extra hands and weapons and stuff like that, and then I will, put a marker on, like I'll marker it,
Label it.
I know. Yeah, I'll label it. Like
I
it's
guess-
the Lego sets that we had and we tore apart. Like I went through the instructions backwards, so like each numbered bag is separated. And then it's
gotcha.
all
That's
in
a good
one
idea.
big bag,
Right.
and then the instructions are in there, and then the, like I wrote on the bag what set that's from, like the catalog number. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't have that much, as voluminous as you guys do, especially stuff that's loose. But I think it's the kid me, like for the old Joe file cards and tech specs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like even now, if I open a Black Series and it's got pieces, I'll make a Ziploc bag for it while I own it, and like cut out part of the box, that has like the character's picture, like just like the name, and use that as my little marker, for that Ziploc bag. Just 'cause but I think that's just more reminds me of being a kid doing it.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what goes where. The mythic either. It's like crazy.
So that's the thing is like, well, I don't have a lot of space to display like really anything. So basically, a lot of my stuff I just keep in the Ziploc bag. So pretty easy to know who goes with what, because I just don't throw all the accessories in one bag. I do have that though from a few years ago, like with the Combiner Wars and stuff like that, because at that time I really wasn't kind of grouping them like I do now. So a lot of those weapons and stuff for like the aerial bots, the Thundercons, like I would have to go through them and be like, all right, this is for this one, this is for this team, and I have to try to pick them out. But everything probably like the last 3-4 years, 3 years, I would say, pretty organized in Ziploc bags. The characters are just with their weapons, and when I take them out, I just make sure they're together.
And it's funny, like we talked about. You had talked about, hey, did I sell that or did I not sell it? And then you realize that you sold something. Like I found stuff like, the cards that come with the masterpiece, with the third party stuff and the instructions. Sometimes I found accessories, and I put them all in a bag and I keep them in this bin that I tote with me to NJCC every time. It's a small bin, but I'm waiting for that customer to come back and be like, hey, do you remember you sold me that brawny all those years ago? Well, it was missing a face. And I was like, here it is, that was you. I'm waiting for that moment to happen.
Oh man, right?
And then Brian's like, hey, take this accessory and take this, pizza shaped plate, or this,
That dude would sell
Craziness.
anything at NG.
take this ant farm that I've toted around for years.
Here's this ant farm as an appreciation
Right.
for your patience in
Spots in the sky.
waiting for this
Bought that
piece.
ant farm from me.
Oh my god, I remember you had one of those bionics like looking primes that you said you couldn't even give it away. You had it marked for like $1 and nobody would
Yeah.
even buy it.
And then the guy's like, oh my god, this is $1? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I want it. And I'm like, do you really want it? He's like, it's $1. I was like,
Cool.
shit, maybe that's the key. Just put $1 on everything, and
Dollar box.
people will just buy it. Yeah, that thing was garbage, man.
I'd buy that for $1.
Good old NJCC. I think my favorite NJCC moment, I think one of them, well, there's many, but it's fun, is being at Brian's table and him having some miscellaneous items there, and him having a very good condition Dungeons and Dragons LJM version of Warduke, and me being, wow, I really like this character. I always like this character. His one's in really great shape. Man, he's really tight. The paint is great. And suddenly that character went back into the tote. Brian's like, I don't think I'm going to sell this today. Packed it back up, and I was like,
But I bring it to
about it.
NJCC with me every year.
Yeah,
It's in that little tote with me.
yeah, I see it. I've seen it like every time. I'm like, man, you got the word again. Yeah, no, I'm not selling that.
Close. There's been some close calls. Like I remember, I had my Fort Max on display, and nobody took it. And now I'm like, damn, I'm glad I didn't sell that, repro labeled and all. I just wasn't thinking ahead. I'm just like, whatever. I don't need this thing. And now it's like, shit, I do. I want it all.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Got to play the long game with some of that stuff, you know. So.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's true.
Oh man! All right, well, good stuff, guys. Nice discussion. I thought that was pretty cool. Thanks for the topic, Gary. Good stuff. So, with that said, let's just call it a night. We had a good discussion here. Let's go around the yard, get some where you at, and of course, we'll just discuss this offline. And if anybody wants to, do a ROC hangout, I know the guys were said last night we might upstage them, but no, next week. ROC hangout after ETR. So
All right.
Nice.
look forward to that. So let's go around the yard. Brian, I'll start with you, brother.
Hey, at Brinklizer on Instagram, and I should start taking pics now that I'm making my display nice.
Yes. Let's see some figure photography that I could show off on ETR.
Maybe I'll take a picture of that Decepticon trio, which look really good together.
Let's make it look good, all right?
Yeah. And of course, in the Facebook, the Realm Facebook groups, and here on your favorite YouTube channel, Realm of Collectors. You'll see me.
Your favorite. All right, G Money.
Yep, with you guys on Tuesdays, and Gary Allen in the Facebook groups.
Short and sweet.
Yep.
JD.
JD Brooks in the Facebook groups, Pigment Surgery, Instagram, Xbox Live, and Shelf Gravy. Tomorrow night, all new figure banging, right?
Oh, it's a figure, right?
Yeah.
Banging.
I
Yeah,
wonder
banging
what's
week.
banging tomorrow.
Find out.
Mystery. Nice.
I got some turtles for Ace, so I gotta drop them off. I was supposed to drop them off last night, but I was just too fucking tired.
That's nice. Door-to-door delivery, man. Ace got it good.
Yeah,
Dude, he does have a good. The last fucking 2-packs. Like I think I've gotten him the last all the way through like Bebop and Rocksteady. I think I've gotten him, and I drove every single 2-pack to his house.
Man.
He owes me dinner.
So, yeah, word up. Steak.
Something.
All right. Let him know, Dom. Let him know.
Nah, I love him. I love him. So we have our our 15-minute 30-minute conversation and just shoot the shit about toys and everything, and he's got a nice setup going. He's building his man cave, which is amazing, and very jealous. Yeah, so it's a wonderful thing that he's doing. So you can find me here Tuesday nights with you guys, and on the Facebook to Don McGrasso, and that's it. Probably somewhere in Target trying to hunt down Vipers, but they're pretty, they haven't stocked up yet here. So I'm assuming I'm assuming there's going to be one more run, and that's about it until the Chinese New Year is over and all that stuff. But
gotta be on the hunt now. Gotta be on the hunt. Yep. So exclusives. We might have an exclusive discussion about that next week.
I might take Chris's stance last night on ETR. I got a kid in a well. He won't come out if he only has like 3 Vipers. So I'm gonna post that up on the boards and see if somebody can give me.
Give us the sob story. Give us the sob story. Oh man! All right. Let's not forget about our brother not here tonight. Energon Addict, a little under the weather. So wish him well wishes, guys. Wish him a speedy recovery. He'll be back next week, I'm sure. As for myself, Harrick and BX on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, with the ETR crew every single Monday on this very channel. Here with my brothers every single Tuesday. And don't forget to check out Verbally Challenged with Harrick and BX on all audio podcast pushing platforms. And thank you for checking it out. Got to give a huge shout out to the chat squad. Thank you for hanging out tonight, guys. Oh, and as Energon Addict said last week, shoot us some topics. You know what I'm saying? If you guys know us, hit us up on Messenger. If you have a topic you want us to discuss here on Tuesday night, just throw it out there. Hit me up, hit any of the guys up, and we'll discuss it. Got a nice topic that we'll be discussing next week. So we'll definitely be getting into it. So thank you for anybody that does that. And once again, Chat Squad, thank you for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to check out the rest of the shows on the Cool Table. You can find the Cool Table page on Facebook. Figure Banging tomorrow night, as JD said. Check out the Ladies of the Realm on the Total Package podcast on their YouTube channel. Check out the dudes on the Nerds Have Spoken. And check out Nerd Life Syndicate right here on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel on Fridays as well. All right. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us. Take care. Stay safe. Peace out. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Take
Have a
care.
good week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
Boy.
Bye-bye.
Say it with me now. Round.